saw her, and one of them landed on the street, like, you know, in the back, you know, right on the street.
Here? No, your 5:30 was good. No, don't worry, your 5:30 was good because I just stayed on you.
You got everything out of there.
I think we're all in a state of shock right now. Laguna Woods is a city of about 18,000 residents, and it's known as a very happy, safe retirement community. So for something like this type of a senseless tragedy and shooting to occur today, we're all in a state of shock. I mean, nothing like this has ever happened here. From what we know, there was a shooter that came in with multiple weapons and started opening fire. And fortunately, some of the parishioners here in the congregation jumped on the shooter and tackled him, brought him down to the ground, and held him until the sheriff's department came and was able to arrest the individual. It's a variety. I don't know what this particular group, they have different groups that attend services here, and I think what we know at this point, it might have been part of the Taiwanese delegation, but I don't have full details. This is all, 4 hours after the event occurred, the tragic event occurred. So we're still trying to piece together a lot of information.
And so, how do people recover from something like this? What is there anything that help people, any community or any support that they can have?
Yes. So for the County of Orange, once I found out about the shooting here today, I contacted our county departments, in particular our healthcare agency, to dispatch grief counselors to make sure we got them on site here to really help and assist with grief counseling for the affected victims, their families, witnesses, and for the entire community. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hi, can we just ask one question? Is there any information of where people can go in the area that have any ties to this, where they can go to get counseling or where they can go to get immediate help that you know of?
Okay. So hold on just a sec because
Yeah.
I don't know. Yossi, do we know if the grief counselors are they on site here now or where?
No, they're on call and
Okay. So what do they people get hold of?
yeah, so that's what Dr. Sherman is through the sheriff's department. Okay, are you looking for?
Yeah, just whatever the statement is, if you need any help to go.
Yeah.
Let me get that right.
Thank you. No rush.
Number to call or hold on just a sec. We're trying to get the phone number for the grief counselor.
I can cut it in at the very end. If you just want to, do you want to just do an intro of if you've been affected by this?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to do it until we get the info. But
Okay. Yeah, we're trying to get that right. I want to be able to give them either a hotline number to call or something.
Sure.
Because people are going to start, contacting us.
sure.
wants to lend a hand and an ear to anyone who needs to talk to them. We're also told that there are grief counselors here for the family members who are arriving to try to find out more information on their loved ones and friends that may have been inside the church. This has happened in Johnson County. Remember the woman that I spoke to right when I got here on the scene? She was desperate for answers on her parents. Then Orange County Sheriff was able to tell her that her 92-year-old father was grazed by a bullet and was taken to OCFA. And we didn't have any information about her mother. She had to wait for 30 agonizing minutes, not knowing if her mother was okay, until finally she was able to make contact with her mother. Orange County Sheriff telling her that she was actually interviewed by law enforcement at that time. So, of course, such a tough situation here for so many people. Another interview right now, but I think
Give me just a second, guys.
We're in the process of getting.
Sure, no problem.
Because we want to be able to dispatch that
No,
out.
no problem at all.
Oh, you have a sod in there?
When you do get the info, I'll just have you give just a very brief summary, and then at the end,
Okay, brief summary
of just the event. We're here in Laguna Woods. Here's the short summary of what happened. If you need help, here are the resources that you can.
Not with me. I can't do anybody with me. I'm going on the phone. Just like we did before, people matter, and they've reached out after you asked them to. They already made contact, and I'm getting the phone number if anybody else might need it.
Okay, what's the phone number?
I'm getting it because it's not a public thing. They're made immediate call.
Okay, if people in the community are feeling uneasy, who do they call? What number do they call? Is there a hotline?
I already asked.
Okay, I gotta give it to this guy. So
It's okay if we don't have it. I can wait for it.
We're getting it.
Sure.
can they call the sheriff's department?
Okay. I don't want to make it up. I want to make sure that we get it.
Okay.
Oh, you are? Supervisor Bartlett, I'm with KNX. They wanted to take the continuing coverage right now. Could you call in to our producer and schedule a time when you do a Q&A with our anchors? Yeah, you can share that with her.
I was going to say you probably have. Yes. I just wanted to. Number for like a cell phone number. Sure. It's funny. It's like Are you leaving us? Even though he's undersheriff now. And I will. I know you're.
No rush. I'm going to float around. I'll be back. Thank you for your help. Alright, this is the church. I'm still waiting for a rundown. You guys probably already have the details by now. Something that I didn't know until just now, one of the reporters was saying that one of the gentlemen that tried to stop it inside the church was grazed by a bullet during that, and it took him 30 minutes to get help. Which in that kind of a scenario isn't super long, but it's a long time if you've been grazed by a bullet for sure. We're waiting to talk to the supervisor to just get a quick rundown. There's a lot of media here. All the media. Please be respectful in the comments. This is obviously a highly emotional scene. Everybody's charged up. Please be cool in the comments. There are some FBI here. There are definitely some agencies you don't usually see out here right now. FBI.
I'm not familiar with this church, but I know that they do have a number of regularly scheduled congregations here, and so what happened today was just really shocking because when you think of a place of worship, you think you're going to a
Laguna Woods is known as the happy and safe environment. And for something like this to occur, I think we should stick.
Yeah, I think they, and this is all unconfirmed, but I think it was one shooter. I think it was a male, Asian, 60-year-old. I don't know that for a fact. That's just what I heard. There are a lot of details floating around right now. Awesome. Awesome. Could I can do it over here. This is fine too.
I have them in the car, but it's okay.
Okay, wait. Okay, you're gonna look right here.
Okay, so you're going to hold it like, yeah.
Okay, wait, let me put this down a little bit. And then if you could start by your name and spell it. Give me just one moment.
Let me know when to start.
Speak up just a little bit louder than that, and then go ahead whenever you're ready.
Lisa Bartlett, Lisa Bartlett, Orange County Supervisor, 5th District.
Awesome. And what brings us out here today to Laguna Woods?
Well, this senseless tragedy brought us out here to Laguna Woods today. Laguna Woods is known as the happy and safe retirement community environment. So the shooting that took place today has us all in a complete state of shock. But we're very thankful that some of the parishioners here took very swift action and actually held the prisoner, excuse me. Can we start over again?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Speak up just a little bit louder than that.
All right.
Go
So
ahead.
just where I left off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
But we're very thankful today that the some of the parishioners actually held down the suspect until the sheriff's deputies could arrive and apprehend him. So it could have been much worse than what occurred, and it's already bad enough with one person deceased and a number of those that were shot. When you walk into a place of worship, you feel like you're going into a very safe environment. So we are all still in a state of shock, and our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to the victims and their families and to the entire Laguna Woods community. And I know that we have grief counselors that have already been dispatched to talk to all of the victims and their families. But if anyone is in need of a grief counselor, we want them to call the county number, and that number is 949-614-6333. That is our trauma intervention program number. Again, 949-614-6333. So anyone who's feeling uneasy or feeling unsafe and just needs to kind of talk through what's going through their mind, we want to make sure that the county is a resource for them, and they're more than welcome to call this number, and we've got people standing by right now.
Thank you very much for the information. Thank you. All right, so that's the grief counseling number. If you guys need it, it's available for you. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I thought you were pointing toward the street. Hold on real quick. This is Laguna Woods, Orange County. Jenny, Kath, Chris, thank you guys for hanging out. Where I am right now, I'm getting kind of a sun reflection off the screen, so I can't see very many comments. But this is in Orange County. This is in Laguna Woods, Geneva Presbyterian Church. This area has a bunch of aloe plants like this. Huge aloe plants everywhere. And this community's been through a lot this week. Sucks because it's kind of stealing people's sense of security. There aren't too many places that you can go that you just absolutely know you're safe anymore. I would have guessed this would have been one of the safe spots, but so the churchgoers here subdued the gunman, and I think that's a good lesson. And you have to be more proactive in 2022. You can't really wait for the heroes to arrive. You have to dig deep and find that inner hero, do something about it. Shout out to the people that helped though, it's incredible. Honestly, the best thing you can do is just keep that inner hero ready, like keep them on deck. I mean, the people that immediately helped the wounded, there's so many things that you can do when something's actually happening. So this is Calais, Sonora. That's the intersection right here. Not sure why they would be rolling a fire truck down here like that. It's kind of weird. Heavy rescue coming in. This is my favorite truck too, 28. Wonder what they're up to. Oh, right there you can see the officials going in. They're going in to take a look at the scene. Yeah, the name of the church is Geneva Presbyterian. And it's in Laguna Woods, California, which is in Orange County. Geneva Presbyterian Church. Laguna Woods, California. Oh, definitely still a crime scene. This will be a crime scene all through the night. Beautiful church. The sign is kind of blocking it right now, but there's a huge stained glass pillar. See it right there. Cheers to everybody being respectful in the comments. Your uncle lives in the apartment next to the church, man. Hold on real quick. It's gonna get bumpy here for a moment. I think it happened around 1:30. I believe the initial calls were 126, something around. And then I know Orange County Fire Authority was very quick to respond. But one of the people giving an interview said that it took one of the people that helped inside 30 minutes to get help. They were grazed by a bullet. FBI is here, alcohol, tobacco, firearms, a lot of federal agencies, everyone's here. If you guys saw the press conference earlier, Alert SoCal was there, and also 714 News. You can go back and watch the press conference. They both got great coverage over there. Kim, aloha. Alright, we're gonna go back over by media. A lot of three-letter agencies out here. ATF, FBI. Wonder if this gentleman here lives in the neighborhood or if he's part of the church congregation. Mary Sheldon, what up? There's a lot of mental health issues floating around right now. There's one of the, I'm not sure what he is, or she is, maybe Sharon. If you guys are in need of any health counseling though, there was a number that was given if you scroll back on YouTube. Community number for anybody that needs assistance. And this is in Orange County, California. This is Laguna Woods, Geneva Presbyterian Church. Shout out to everybody watching on Twitch. On Twitch, it's LAOC TV. Shout out to Laura, Piper Cricket, Mary, thank you very much. Mary Sheldon, good to see you. You can still hear the helicopter. I think it's probably press helicopter. They're just posted up there. fire truck went into this neighborhood just above us. See it right here. The golf cart's heading toward it. Four dead, one critically wounded is what people are reporting. But again, I don't know that to be true. It's being reported.
Okay, I'll call you back.
This looks like independent news here in the crosswalk. I dig that. A lot of mainstream people out here, but a lot of regular people need to be out here as well, just providing that independent look. I dig it.
Where do you go? Oh, we went, man. I don't know. I don't know where we went.
Yeah, 4 critical, 1 dead is what I'm hearing too. But again, unconfirmed.
He knew we were moving the rigs. He's all the way over there. Why? If there was a pressure right now, something would be decent.
They must have somebody. Because if you got arrested, it's something.
Let me play it. Supervisor
Yeah, the news conference has already ended. If you want to check it out, go check out Alerts SoCal, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or 714 News. They were both at the news conference. James B, what up, bro?
Very heroic acts that happened here today. Now, there were about 30 witnesses that were inside during the shooting or they are all being interviewed just as this investigation continues. Authorities say many of the people that were inside the church during the shooting were Taiwanese descent, and it is unclear if this was a hate crime or a targeted in any way. Orange County Supervisor Lisa Bartlett, she spoke during the press conference.
So yeah, this is a retirement community. The majority of people here are very low-key. If you were inside the building and you need grief counseling and you're on YouTube, please rewind the stream. There's a number that's provided there for free help. If you're a member of the community or if you're just affected at all. If you're just getting here, this is Laguna Woods, California. The church is called Geneva Presbyterian Church. Do you want to be more over here? Do you want this over here?
Sorry, hold on.
I thought they weren't gonna let me through.
Kelly Sonora Road.
Yeah.
So are they gonna like? Are you gonna go back to the vacation, or is it just are you gonna stay on? Yeah, that's not fun.
Please be respectful in the comments. Major accident reconstruction team.
My next thing was tomorrow. I'm gonna call Matt. I don't see the event.
I was, but I just want to see how you got it. Yeah, I miss but I guess we don't.
Just see a video, and then I got an interview with the mayor pro tem.
Right.
I have no problem with sitting tight. I know that you never know what happens. I just don't want.
No, the Johnny Depp thing, that's I have found it very fascinating. No, but I found it really interesting. When I watched it in the beginning. I just like was fascinated about it, acting like how he was going to do it. You know, it was just fascinating. And I say that because I studied acting, right? Yeah. He also did method acting, so yeah, I was like,
The Alert SoCal's in the chat. If you want to see the press conference earlier, go check his stream out either on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. He and 714 News were both out here, and they got the press conference if you want to see what they said. Support the independent news platforms. What's crazy is the news comes out and just does like a little quick preview of these things, but independent people go in depth. They're almost giving like a commercial for it. Shout out to Brent and Renee.
I don't know. Yeah, I know.
Good. I'm sitting outside this church.
So if you're just tuning in, Geneva Presbyterian Church, Orange County. It's the town of Laguna Woods. It's primarily a retirement community. Chris, I have a vest. I don't really wear it that often, though. Cheers to everybody hanging out on Twitch. I'm LAOCTV on Twitch. And then I pinned the link tree to the top of the chat in YouTube. So if perhaps you're on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, you can check out the other channels. We're LAOC TV on most channels. How long do you guys think this story will stay in the news? Less than a week? This guy's doing like a yoga panoramic shot. It's like Tai Chi.
Well, I'm just gonna get him some more deal.
There's really almost no place to ensure safety nowadays. You can get killed in jail, you can get killed in church. It feels unsafe everywhere. Just have to keep your guard up. I like the new strategy here where you have like a red rider. Put everything in there. Pro move right there. Shout out to Orange County Fire Authority. They've had a crazy week. They get a call to service at this address and just have to run in and start handling a murder scene. Firefighters go through a lot. Shout out to all the first responders. If you're just getting here, this is Orange County, California. The city is Laguna Woods. Mega Milton got the permanent ban. You definitely have a right to be disrespectful, but just not on this channel. Everybody here is pretty chill. You can obviously tell that doesn't fit in. People here have a lot of respect for what the first responders do out here. It's going to be an active scene for a long time tonight. So this is a shooting that happened at this church here in Laguna Woods, California. The name of the church is Geneva Presbyterian Church.
You're good. I'm just looking.
Oh, cool. There's a good one up there just past the bus stop. Right where the guy in the white hat's standing. It's a good shot.
That's a good angle there.
Yep. Because it just covers the sun enough that it's like a good glow. We'll go for this super wide shot. Cool architecture on that church. This is Orange County, California, Laguna Woods. Primarily a retirement community. When you respond to calls over here, it's hard to even film the calls because the majority of them are in gated communities. Even the trailer park areas are gated communities. Still choppers overhead. What is this dude doing over here? Is he trying to fix this sign? Looks like he's just taking a break. Shout out to this dude, hope he's alright. What are you doing over there, man? Is he burying some nuts for the winter, or what's he doing? He's looking in there. I don't want to, maybe he's going to come back for those nuts later. I don't want to give his location away. So this is in Orange County, California. This is Laguna Woods. There was a shooting at this church here. It's Geneva Presbyterian Church. So the fires that were happening, where the neighborhood was on fire on both sides of the streets, that was in Laguna Niguel, very close to here. We'll just be out here for a little bit longer until the sun sets. I just wanted to give you guys a behind the scenes look. There are plenty of news reporters here. The reason I like independent news is they come and they give a more in-depth behind-the-scenes viewing of what's happening at these scenes. So the news will say, you know, here's 30 seconds of what happened, back to you. Some people want a more in-depth explanation, and then they also want an unfiltered, raw look at the scene. And so that's what we're out here providing. We're trying not to choose sides on any of these stories. We just want to give you guys a independent look and let you choose. Let you decide what's going on out here. I definitely want to encourage anybody that has camera equipment, show up to these scenes. It's your right to do that. as long as you're staying respectful, you'll get respect back. Then if you guys aren't aware, there's a website called stringerslive.com, and it's a collective of independent filmers. So you can go there and support the news reporter that's actually going to these scenes. Different people have different personalities. Everybody has a different way of covering the scene. You can put your direct support behind the person that you like out there at the scene and ensure that they're at that next scene covering what you want to see. The news stations are great, but they already have enough financial support. They're buying their 11th helicopter sometimes. But yeah, this was a fatal shooting. Geneva Presbyterian Church.
Yeah, at this point it's on you. Sorry.
I'll try to get an interview with the Almond Joy guy on my way back to the car. He's taking a nap right now. Actually, I thought he was taking a nap, but he's just getting a lower angle. I think he might have found like a secret passageway down there or something. We better go see what he's up to. He might need some help. He might need some milk. Oh, he saw me coming and he's running. Come on, bro. Come on, man. It's alright. Backdoor to Narnia, it's possible, man. After what happened to this community this week, you can't rule anything out. Everything's on the table. Geneva Presbyterian Church. Oh yeah. Shout out to all the reporters out here. Everybody did a great job. And a huge shout out to Orange County Fire Authority. And love and prayers to all the Buffalo community affected with that shooting. That was absolutely horrible too. I'm from Colorado, and I was in high school when the Columbine shooting happened. It was several high schools away from me. Just seems like it's kind of been nonstop since then. Everybody's just sort of desensitized to these kind of scenes. After the shooting at Columbine in Colorado, within the next following weeks, it was no pro sports teams, no chains, no solid colors of any kind. It was just this panic. What can we do to prevent it? And in the years following, I mean, they just haven't figured out a way to prevent it. If there even is a way to prevent it. But I do see some independent news reporters out here, and I'm always happy to see that. More is more when it comes to this press coverage. If you have equipment, come out and stand on a public sidewalk, put on a safety vest, stay respectful. You're reporting the news. In that moment, you're reporting the news. So huge respect to anybody that's out here putting an independent lens on scenes like this. There was a scene several years ago in Aliso Viejo where someone received a box in the mail and it blew up. I want to say it was a salon. But if you go back to my channel, if you're on my LAOC TV channel, you can hit the little search button there, the magnifying glass. Search Aliso Viejo, maybe FBI. But that was a crazy scene too. That was the last time I saw this many like ATF and FBI people around. And I believe it, I'm not sure if they solved that or not, but that was like an ex-husband that sent a bomb to someone's place of employment. At this scene that we're currently at, this is in Laguna Woods, California, Orange County. They're saying 4 people have passed away and 1's in critical condition. I've also heard some reports that one of them just got out of surgery and that one of them is currently in surgery. So if you send good vibes, if you send prayers, please send them to these victims. People are reporting that 4 people have passed away though. Shout out to the Orange County Sheriff as well. Sheriff did a good job at the neighborhood scene and at the scene. One dead, 4 injured. That sounds... I hope that's the case. Not that I hope that somebody's dead, but I hope that it's a lower number like that. Man. Prayers for Buffalo and Geneva Presbyterian Church. Can't imagine the congregation of people that actually witnessed that. Man. Yeah, my station is never the place to go to for the actual facts. I'm just kind of showing what's happening on the ground in the moment. So everything, all the reporting that I do here, that's as far as I know, but that's not the actual account of what happened. It's been a long week here in Laguna though. That fire scene was so intense. I think it's going to take decades for people to forget that. I hope this isn't a scene that just gets forgotten in a week or two. Happens though. Yeah, obviously this is a very emotionally charged scene, but cheers to everybody that's staying respectful in the comments. This is definitely not a place to come through and try to say something controversial. I don't think they've come out and said whether it's a parishioner or somebody that wasn't involved with the community of the church. I agree with Stephen, though. What the world needs is just a huge injection of some compassion, empathy, love. There's a lot of this stuff going around. It's just becoming normal. Here's the widest shot I'm gonna get.
And we do know that 2 handguns were recovered at the scene. ATF will be tracing those firearms. And while this investigation continues and processing the scene, we're still trying to obviously learn more about a motive of what started this shooting. In Laguna Woods, Elena Gomez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Very quiet out here now. That was an officer. Got it. How's it going, man?
Negative. I'm not paying for that. I'm so ugly I break camera.
There's a guy over here. He can't get through with his car. He's upset. What do you want from me? Want to drive through here? Come on, man. Just let me drive right through the crime scene. I have my Pepsi Kids Club card. It should be alright. I don't think Pepsi Kids Club works at this scene, though. Let's go see what this buried nut situation is over here. If you guys don't know about California, everybody's the most important person out here. That's why the traffic's so crazy. Millions of important people. Look at this sign though. This is Laguna Woods, California, Geneva Presbyterian Church. There was a shooting here. I believe it's confirmed now that 5 people were shot. I think 1 was critical. There's at least 1 person in surgery right now. I think 1 person's out of surgery. Do they do a lot of movies in California? No. All the movies moved to Austin and New Mexico, Arizona, where it's cheap. Oh, I like this lady's hair. Oh, and the puppy. Yeah, the puppy. I already made up my mind. When I'm older, I'm gonna cross my arms just so that everything looks more important. And I'm gonna do a lot of whelp. I'm gonna do a lot of that. Whelp. Before I start anything. See if I can get an interview somewhere.
I talked to my sergeant. He's going to come out here in a little bit. But he's not letting me let you. Okay? He's coming. I'll do a little bit. I'm sorry that. Which way are you going, sir? Just go ahead. Okay. I have a question. My dad is the car right now. Is there any sense of when we'll be able to kind of come up here? Not right now. No sense right now. We have no sense.
About. Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to. Yes, I live down the street.
Why is that sign down? Is that a part of like all the?
Okay.
That's unusual. It's not supposed to be like that.
And then also at the end, if you have anything to tie into that as far as like together.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you with again? Okay.
We'll set this up. If you stand right on the edge of that curb.
Sure.
Yep. Let me make it higher. Hold on.
Somebody had a golf cart. They went in me. Yeah, so do you need like a... Oh, my car's right here. Run up and then drive up for a while.
Okay. And can I start with your name and can you spell it for me?
Sure. It's Jordan Pobletti. It's spelled Jordan. Pobletti is spelled P as in Paul, O, B as in Bravo, L-E-T-E.
And do you live in this community?
Yes, in Lake Forest, just down the street.
And what was the feeling like earlier in the week when the fires were happening in that neighborhood?
Yeah. Do you want me to talk to you, by the way?
Yes,
okay,
please.
Yeah. It was interesting. I mean, certainly we're in the cusp of like fire season here in California, but it was a freak fire for sure. I think that's what people have been describing it as. Obviously, seeing the sadness of homes being lost and what that does for folks was, I think, already a thematic of the beginning of what obviously today and this shooting happened to be. This community's rocked again by another tragedy.
And now that you stand here at this scene, what's the feeling like, and how did you hear about this scene, and what were your feelings when you heard what had actually transpired?
Sure. So I'm a worship leader part-time at Mariners Church in Irvine, so just down the road here. So I think two things come to mind. One, obviously this happening at a church where the faithful gather. It's supposed to be a safe place. It's supposed to be a place where people come to know that they're seeking help. They're wanting to be seen and to be loved. And our God provides those things. But when you have a worldly evil like that come into a space like this, I mean, especially here locally, I mean, you hear about obviously the shootings that have happened in our country already, and also the church shootings that have happened throughout this country and just in our history. And it's just even more upsetting to know that this is just happening down the street from where I grew up. So as a person of faith, as a resident of Orange County, this is terrible. I just was here with my friend, and we wanted to stop by and see how we could support folks. So that's what we're most concerned about. I know our church is going to be formalizing some type of response to what's going on, and and I know my family will be personally. So yeah, we're going to be here for the people of Laguna Woods and hopefully love on them just as much as they would anyone else.
Kind of speak to why it's important for people to stick together when things like this happen.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's important?
I mean, yeah, it's a big part of why the faithful gather in the Christian tradition is that we gather because we know we need each other. We need to be reminded in times of trouble that, yeah, we're living in this very broken place, but we together can be reminded of the hope and the love that we share amongst each other and where that love comes from. And so, yeah, we truly need each other in moments of trial and strife, and I think it's obviously really important even now more than ever, given what's happening here, especially within the evangelical and Orange County communities, to be able to stick together and remind people that they can still have hope, and that they're not alone, and that there are people who love and care for them still. So.
And maybe there are people that have only seen this community just from the events that happened earlier in the weekend today. Yeah. What are some things that you want them to know about this community when things are going right? What are some great things about it?
Yeah, Laguna Woods is, I was telling my friend earlier, I take this road. This is a main thoroughfare for Lake Forest folks and Laguna Woods folks to get to Laguna Beach, which is just down the road here. But it's a vibrant community, mainly senior citizens who live in the area too, and so just lovely people who have lived a full life and want to continue to do so. So yeah, it's just an amazing place to be if you're a senior citizen or if you're just a person who wants to grab a bite or is just passing through. It's just like in every town here in the United States.
And any closing thing that you just want to tell to people about if they're grieving and if they need any help, anything like that?
Absolutely. Well, it's hard to say, you can't bypass a tragedy, and I certainly would not be remiss if I just decided to insert a God comment here. But I think the beautiful part about what I know about my faith is that in order for us to get to the light, we need to go through the darkness. We need to acknowledge the weight and gravity of what it means to feel loss and tragedy. And so that would be my thing, is like, as this community comes to terms with what's going on, let's not shy away from that, let's not shy away from what it really is, this evil act, and grieve together, because it's only when we grieve together that we can experience the light of day and we can have hope again. So I certainly expect that we're going to be doing a lot of grieving over the next couple of months.
I agree. It kind of seems like when anything terrible like this happens, people should rush in and put so much positivity on top of it that it just kind of crushes that down.
Absolutely. Let's not do that, guys. Let's be real about what's going on, and then when we get to that moment where we're ready to move on, let's move on in love and hope.
Thank you very much for your comments, and thank you for your words. I appreciate it.
Friend. Appreciate you. Thank
you.
Take care, man.
I'm Jeremy.
Jeremy. Nice to meet you.
I'll show you the
Oh, cool.
It's LAOCTV.
Great.
And this is the live stream right here.
Yeah.
And this is what we're doing.
Awesome, man.
I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Would either of you give me just a couple words about what you're... Just kind of what the feeling is standing out here looking at the scene. How you're feeling about it. Just what the feeling is like, and kind of people are seeing Laguna Woods for the very first time, and what is this community?
I've only been living here for 3 months, and this hurts.
Where did you live before?
Lived in Palm Desert before. Came down from Palm Desert. Never ever expected anything like this. And these poor people who've been shot, I just feel so bad for them. And
see, they lit in the car in there. See that?
I don't know why.
They let him in. I think this guy just put some.
The thing is that I tried When I tried coming up the hill about 2 hours ago, they wouldn't let me. So I drove around to the other side, okay? And they stopped me a block away.
Right, that's what happened to me.
Now that it's open, the cars are coming.
They're letting him in. This guy's telling me I couldn't. I think he's suspicious.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I called the sheriff's office. They said, if you have an ID, they'll let you go in.
With a car.
With the car, yes. So they said, I don't want to walk back up the hill. I told you what I told you. I can't really walk back. So he's letting us go. If the cars to come down this far, they had to open the back.
That's what I was saying. They opened it up. Now they're sending this guy back. They don't have their act together. That's what it sounds like. See, more cars are coming.
Because they opened it up back.
It's okay.
So what's it going to cost?
You know what time? You know what time this happened?
I believe 136.
I lost 60 pounds in my head. I guess. Oh, look at her. She's transformed.
Remember, I talked to you earlier. You said you were not ready. Are you ready to talk now?
Can I tell you one time? No,
Well, they were on. She said
no, they were not. No, I had teardrops. They were gaps. She had to fill them in. She had to look,
No, we come back and find you, okay?
I know her. She's my neighbor. Okay, so we're going to go talk to Fran.
Well, I don't have any more tankers here. I came down to drive people up the hill. I've made a couple of trips.
Oh, you have the golf cart?
No,
Oh.
I have my car.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
That's nice of you. That's cool to do that.
But you have a good day.
You too.
Oh, is that right?
A regular dude. Regular dude go through the crime scene right here. Okay. It's so crazy when people do that. Doo-doo-doo. Looks like a lot's going on here. I'll just drive right through. If you're just tuning in, this is in Laguna Woods, California. The Geneva Presbyterian Church. We won't be out here too much longer. If you need another place to go after we end our stream, check out stringerslive.com. And also stringers.live. There's a list of independent filmers that go live. stringerslive.com. Huge. Earlier, there were two people out here at the press conference. Those were my homies, Alert SoCal Brent, 714 News Renee. Please go over there and give them a sub. Yeah, I definitely wear a press vest. %100%. Shit, something's happening over here. Oh, this is the dude we just interviewed.
Oh no, I'm a local here, just down the street, but no one specifically at the Geneva.
How come you decided to follow?
As a resident of Orange County and a member of the faith community, I go to Mariners Church in Irvine. It's overwhelming to know it just happens in your backyard, you know. So any way that I can just be there is I love it. The parishioners who come in, Geneva Presbyterian Church, want to offer my support and condolences for sure.
So when you heard it, this happened, you thought you got to do something?
It's just a gesture, something small, you know. But we leave flowers for moments like this, you know. And something small, but certainly wanting to be there for people who are really hard. I saw everybody coming. I was like, wow.
The beeping is the crosswalk. I don't know what that vibrating is though. I'm glad that kid's giving interviews. Sometimes they find the wrong people to give these interviews. Yeah, whenever the crosswalks are held up like this, the beeping is constant. That's a very common thing when you go to these scenes and you film. That beeping is really annoying. This helicopter's been posted. How's it going, man? Good. In Laguna Woods, sometimes there are calls that come out and I'll drive over to the call super fast, and then you get outside and it's a gated community because a lot of these are retirement communities that just have a little gate out front and they won't let anybody in. So a lot of news doesn't come out of places like this because even if you get to the scene, you might not actually get into where it's happening. But this is a very quiet town. It's known in this area as kind of a sleepy area. Retirement community, a lot of elderly people. I want to give a huge shout out to the people inside of this church that subdued the shooter. It might be scary, especially in the moment, but I mean, that needs to happen. You got to have good people coming together and taking charge and like making it happen. You can't just wait for somebody else to do it. That goes for a lot of things in 2022. Be more proactive. There's a huge Asian population, not only in Orange County, but especially in this area. Irvine, close to UCI where the college is. A lot of Asian restaurants, a lot of Asian community members. And then also there are a lot of mental health issues going on. I'm not sure when they're going to take that seriously and make it a huge issue, but it's an enormous issue. Piper Cricket, thank you so much. So we swapped out the beeping of the crosswalk for the helicopter. One thing you can do if you're feeling depressed is just reach out and help others. It's amazing how much that lifts your spirits, and sometimes people are just really hard on themselves, but they're really sweet to other people. So maybe just try to help everybody else. If you're going through some severe depression, just reach out and try to help other people. It's rewarding for sure. That gentleman that we were interviewing, he was at another church that was close to here, and this happened, and that's how I felt during the Columbine stuff. I was just a couple high schools away in high school when that happened, and it just felt like that could have been me. And I think a lot of people felt like that. This is in Laguna Woods, California, Orange County. There was a shooting here at this church, at the Geneva Presbyterian Church. The threat's been neutralized, but this community is grieving. And it was a really hard week. This is the community that's right next to Laguna Niguel, where they had the really enormous fire, the neighborhood that was on fire on both sides of the street. That was an intense scene, but this is even crazier than that. You can replace things, you can't replace people. Wow, it just got eerily quiet. Here, check out the scene here. When horrible things like this happen, there's an opportunity for people to come and just put so much positivity on top of it. Hopefully that happens here. Turn a tragedy into a learning experience that helps people out in the future. This is the road, Cali Sonora Road. Violence is contagious. Positivity is really contagious too, though. There needs to be like emergency laughter responders, like comedians that respond and just lighten everybody's mood with urgency. It's a future thing that we need. I'm gonna add that to the list.
Who's channel 5? Oh, we are. He's gonna move his vehicle.
Yeah, if you want to just put it in here, that way it's closer.
Okay,
Because
cool.
now we've opened El Toro,
Okay.
and that way nobody hits it or whatever.
Well, thanks for the heads up.
Yeah,
I'm
for
right.
sure. Yeah, you guys are okay.
Hey, how's it going? Good. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can ask.
I believe the cross street is El Toro Road.
Thanks for helping me. I appreciate it. Hey Lauren, can you show off the opticon on that unit? You can take it down to the first step. Traffic. Door is open, so you gotta wait to cross. Okay. Here, jump on. What about down there?
We can't open it.
Oh, you have a problem. Jump on.
Okay, let's go.
Here's, figure it out.
When you have a golf cart at the scene, that's like pinnacle. Doesn't get much better than that. So I think they're gonna open up El Toro now. Oh, maybe not. This is El Toro. In California, it's 7:41. And this is Laguna Woods, California. The sun is just setting. Earlier, it was so loud out here. So many helicopters, vehicles, press. Whenever it's a huge story like this, I think they really take their time because people are waiting for the answers, and so they want to be sure that they're giving out accurate information. The majority of these churches have security systems, which is just kind of a sign of the times. On the way over here, I passed by a mosque that has the most intense security. I'm talking like ARs, flak jackets on a mosque. It's crazy that in 2022 that kind of stuff is like par for the course. Oh, you have a church? You must have an incredible security detail. And it's almost like the way that schools are preparing for, if there's an active shooter, block the door, do these different things. You almost have to prepare for that in a church now too, which is sort of the last place you expect for something like that. I believe this happened at 1:30-ish today. I want to give a huge shout out to all the first responders that came and helped people out. And then the biggest shout out to the people in the congregation that actually took the shooter down. How are you?
Grabbing B-roll?
Yes.
You have a vehicle?
No, I'm over in there.
All right. Thank you very much.
You bet. Have a great night. All right, we're going to take off. If there's a lesson that comes out of this, it's be prepared. Be prepared to take action if something's happening. I mean, just keep your alert high. And if something happens, just do what you can. You don't have to be the one that is the Bruce Willis main character being the hero, but do what you can. It's scary. And if you think about first responders, they signed up for a job where they're responding to possibly put their line on the life, or their line on the life, their life on the line for you. Crazy. Sign up for a profession where, hey, get out of the way, let me be in harm's way. So shout out to the first responders, putting their life on the line to save your life. Huge shout out to everybody that stayed respectful in the comments as well. We're going to sign off. This is Orange County, California, Laguna Woods. We definitely need more empathy. Just do what you can every day to make that meter go up so that you're being more empathetic day to day. It helps. If you're looking for a place to go after this stream, check out stringerslive.com. Thank you, Matt, for putting that link up there. Matthew in YouTube just put up the link. There's also a live list. It's stringers.live, which is a live list of independent filmers. Stringers Live is a collective of independent filmers that come out to these scenes and give you a more in-depth look of what's going on. We're just doing it so that you have more transparency of what's happening in your community, so that people can take a look at what's happening and maybe get together and figure out some band-aids and some patches so that the stuff stops happening, or at least gets minimized over time. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight and being respectful. Please send all your prayers and good vibes over here. They're gonna need it. And then also check out my two homies, Alert SoCal and 714 News. They're gonna have some footage that they filmed early on. They were both here for the press conference as well. Shout out to both those gentlemen. They're both featured on Stringers Live. 714 News Renee and Alert SoCal Brent. All right, we're signing off. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Do something nice for yourself today too. Watch a comedy before you go to bed, laugh a little bit. Don't just end it on a sour note. All right, take care of yourselves.